Welcome back to our tour through the top 10 moments of 2017. This one just missed the top 10, but we wanted to throw it in as an honorable mention. The UND men's hockey team didn't win a national title like they did in 2016, but their comeback win against Denver this November gave their fans quite a thrill.
This is Magnus Arena, home to the Denver Pioneers, the reigning national champions and current #1 team in the nation. It's the second straight week this building has seen a 1-versus-3 matchup in the national polls. Denver hadn't lost a game at home since December 10th, 2016. They were 12-0-1 over that stretch. It's a pretty ridiculous mark. They won the national championship the year before. They were #1 in the country. And again, these two are rivals. They don't like each other. It's a long history of these two going back and forth. Of course, in conference rivals in the old WCHA and now in the NCHC. Denver started this game hot. They were out shooting UND 21-2 at one point in the first period. They go up 3-0. They score 3 goals right off the bat. North Dakota takes the timeout. Bradbury calls the guys over and they reset, and they kind of get their way back into the game. Zach Jan scores halfway through the second. Joel Janet-Tweenan punches in kind of a loose puck in front of the net. So 3-2 after 2. They would tack on 2 more in the third right away. 4 unanswered goals for North Dakota. An incredible comeback. Colton Pullman with a great goal on the rush from defense. And then Christian Wolanin with the ridiculous shot off a face-off win on the power play. So North Dakota's down 3-0. They come back and score 4 unanswered goals. It was incredible. The place, which was filled up with people that had made the trip from Grand Forks, a lot of UND alumni around Denver, were rocking. A ton of green in the stands. Denver would score to make it 4-4, and then North Dakota would get the game winner with 2:31 left. Johnny Simonson tipping in a point shot from Hayden Shaw. A crazy, crazy game, and everybody around that was there, that watched it on TV said, I mean, one of the best games they had seen in a long, long time. A huge win for North Dakota early in the season on the road against the #1 team in the country and their arch rivals. It doesn't get much better than that.
All right, well, time to get back to our countdown. Coming in at number 8, the classic rivalry between 2 of the best teams in the Missouri Valley Football Conference gets both North Dakota State fans and South Dakota State fans riled up. Of course, we're talking about the Dakota Marker, and the Dakota Marker series currently stands in favor of NDSU at 8-6, but it is SDSU who is currently in possession of the trophy after winning the latest game in the regular season series, a 33-21 victory in Brookings on November 4th. Here's a look back at this rivalry game.
So everybody knew this was the game in the Missouri Valley, right? NDSU versus SDSU, the 2 preseason picks to win the Missouri Valley, and the Bison really lay an egg in Brookings.
The big setup for this was South Dakota State had gone to Fargo the season prior to this, won on the last-second touchdown pass to Jake Winicky.
Christian takes the shotgun snap, fade for Winicky, he caught it in the end zone! Touchdown, South Dakota State with 1 second remaining! The Jackrabbits lead for the first time today!
It was the thought that North Dakota State was going to come back to Brookings and a little payback for North Dakota State. And the Bison came into this game 8-0 at the time. South Dakota State was 6-2. And the Jacks had lost. They'd started out the conference season 1-2 in the Missouri Valley. South Dakota State had, but they'd won 2 in a row coming into this game, had a little momentum going, and it turned out to be a great game. South Dakota State got out to the early lead. Taryn Christian went to Jacob Brown for a touchdown. South Dakota State led 7-0. Bison came right back, tied it up at 7-7, but that was the big story of the game was North Dakota State turnovers. They had 5 turnovers in this game, 3 interceptions, lost a couple of fumbles. There was an interception by South Dakota State's Jordan Brown right before the half.
They turned the ball over 5 times, something really uncharacteristic of Bison teams, and even more uncharacteristic is the way their defense played. They allowed 33 points to South Dakota State. They haven't given up 33 points over the last 4 games in this playoff run dating back to the last game of the regular season.
With about 1.5 minutes to go, South Dakota State drives down the field. They get a Taryn Christian touchdown right before the half, and it's 17-7 at halftime with the Jacks in the lead. And you're thinking, there's a little buzz in the building that maybe they can do this again. And then you get to the second half. Bison come right out, blow right down the field, score, go on one of their patented Bison drives.
It's been a second half team all year long.
Stick time again. Ty Brooks with the catch for the Bison touchdown.
So it's 17-14, and then they start trading scores a little bit. South Dakota State gets back into the lead.
Daniel, touchdown.
North Dakota State, though, they get a touchdown run by Easton Stick early in the fourth quarter, so it's back at 27-21. It's game on. It's going to turn into another fabulous Marker game, everybody thinks. But then South Dakota State goes on probably their best drive of the season. They get the football, so I think it was 86 yards, lasted about 7 minutes. They finish it off with the Taryn Christian pass. Dallas Goddard makes another one-handed catch for a touchdown. Jacks get into the lead 33-21, and then their defense was fabulous. And South Dakota State, for the second year in a row, wins the Dakota Marker.
On to moment number 7. It's not often that we get NCAA champions in our backyard, but when Chris Nilsen enrolled to pole vault at the University of South Dakota last year, he brought excitement to the track and field team and became the NCAA indoor champion in the pole vault with a clearance of 18 feet 8 1/4 inches.
The University of South Dakota, they got a kid by the name of Chris Nilsen who came into their program as a pole vaulter out of high school, one of the very best in the country, if not the best. And he wanted to come and jump for Derek Miles, and that's become kind of a thing. USD is sort of a pole vault U, so to speak, and they're annually attracting some of the very best in the country, which is an accomplishment.
He's a phenomenal coach. Just doing everything he tells me to do is just it's working out, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity that he's given me. I wouldn't even be in college if it wasn't for Derek.
Nilsen came in as one of the very best in the country in high school, and so often we see those guys, there's so much hype around them, and maybe they don't pan out, or maybe it takes a while for them to get up to speed at the collegiate level. That was not the case whatsoever for Chris Nilsen.
Physically a blessed person. He's tall, he's fast, he has a very natural feel for the jump. So when you put all those things together with a pretty motivated mindset, then all of a sudden it starts to add up to some pretty successful things.
You have to remember, in track and field, the indoor season comes first, and so his first action as a Coyote was in the indoor season, and all he does is win every meet he participates in throughout the entire indoor season, including the Summit League Championships, but ultimately the NCAA Indoor National Championship in the pole vault. He cleared 18 8 1/4 to win that event, and it matched his career best in doing it. And it's hard to wrap your head around how a freshman can come in and be the very best in the country right off the bat in his career, and it was quite a start to his career, no question.
First ever Division I men's championship for a male athlete for the University of South Dakota. He's going to be an Olympian sooner than later, and he's learning obviously from an Olympian in Derek Miles, but what he did as a freshman at the University of South Dakota to win a national championship, to represent the U.S. at the Worlds, and he doesn't turn 20 until January. It's an incredible story, and a kid that we get a chance to watch now for the next 3 years to see how high can he go. Is 19 feet going to be in his future or beyond? The sky's the limit, literally, for Chris Nilsen. It's an exciting time to be a South Dakota track fan.
Honestly, I can't really sit here and say that I was hoping for. Well, yeah, I was hoping for this, but I wasn't expecting this. And I wasn't technically striving for it. I'm always striving to be the best that I can be, but knowing that the best that I am personally capable of at this moment is #1 in the nation and also top 20 in the world, that's astounding. That's something I would have never thought I was capable of, and it's all because of Derek.
In terms of what he's been able to take from me and our program and apply, he's done great. You know what I mean? He and I have a great relationship where we can communicate, and he can tell me what he thinks, and I tell him what I think, and we put together a plan, and we move forward, and we both have confidence in it. And to me, I think that's kind of what, at the end of the day, adds up to success.
Chris became South Dakota's first NCAA Division I men's champion and 7th men's national champion overall. Well, when we come back, a huge play on the gridiron featuring one of the most inspirational members of the Fargo-Shanley football team. You don't want to miss this. Stay right here.